Right. This video is going to try to help you understand how to combine like terms. Now there's another video upcoming about how to combine like terms with distribution, but this one's just going to focus on the simple stuff. You put your name up there. I'm in 3B currently, and it is the 4th of September for me. It might be different for you, of course. So our essential question for this is, how can you add and subtract variable expressions to simplify them? So we're going to have to get into a couple of different things here. Our first question here is going to be, when is an expression simple? And so I'm going to start with some examples. So I'll start with simplified examples and not simplified. So simplified, we might have something like 3x plus 2 plus y. For something that's not simplified, we might have something like 3x minus x plus y. Simplified, we might have 3 plus 2 minus 8. I'm sorry, 3x minus 2z minus 8, excuse me, I just forgot to write my variables there. You could have 8 plus 4 minus 2 for not simplified. And so the way that I'm going to try to define this is this. An expression is simplified when there are only one term per variable to a power, which is a really weird thing to say. And so it's going to be related, however, to what we mean when we say something like, what are like terms? And so I'm going to define like terms as this. Terms are alike when they share the same variable raised to the same power. And so we'll do a couple of examples here. 8x and 4x are like terms because they both have an x. 3x squared plus 4x squared, those are like terms. And then here's some unlike. 2x and 2x squared are not alike because they don't have the same variable raised to the same power. One is just 2x, one is 2x squared. 3y plus 4x are unlike because they do not share a variable. I'm going to rewrite my y there since it looks terrible. There we go. And so when you're thinking about like terms, you have to be looking for the same variable raised to the same power. Let's go ahead and look at our definition up here again. An expression is simplified when there are only one term per variable to a power. And so I'm going to write, what are some examples. Whoops. So what are some examples? And so I'll make example 1 here. Let's say we have 3x plus 2 minus 5x. So there are two terms that are alike here, 3x and negative 5x. Notice that I counted this as a negative 5x because there's a negative sign right there. Minusing and negative are the same business to try to get those things in your head the right way. And so when I think about this, this says 3x minus 5x plus 2. And so if I take 3x minus 5x, I have 3 of something, take away 5 of them, I'm going to end up at negative 2 of that thing. And so I have negative 2x plus 2. Let's look at another example. If I have something like 4y plus 2x minus 3 minus y, we have two like terms here, 4y and minus y, or negative y. And so when I consider those terms, I'm going to do 4y minus y. And then the other two terms don't have anything in common, so it's just going to stay plus 2x minus 3. And so I'll get 4y minus y, that's 3y, plus 2x minus 3. And so when you're working through your process, the basic idea is you need to find the things that have the same variable and then add or subtract them as they say. You're going to pay close attention to the sign that's right in front of the term. And so if you see a minus 5x, you're going to think of that as like a negative. If you see a 4y minus y, you're going to do some subtraction. Let's do one more example. This is one that students sometimes get tripped up on. So let's say I had negative 2x plus y plus 4x minus 2y. And so here I've got two sets of like terms. I'll highlight them separately. So there's negative 2x plus 4x. And here I've got positive y minus 2y. And so I'm going to put each of those together separately, kind of try to think of them separately. I'm going to think about my x's first. It's going to be the same as negative 2x plus 4x. And then my y's are going to be positive y minus 2y. So I just kind of changed the order, but I didn't change the sign of anything in particular. Negative 2x plus 4x, if I have a negative 2 plus 4, I'm going to end up with a positive 2x. And then if I have a y minus 2y, that's going to be negative y. And so again, what we're doing is we're paying attention to the signs that are in front of each of the terms, and that's what it's going to tell us whether to add, subtract, or what have you. So this is a Cornell notes sheet. You've got a set of notes, and there's some information there. We're trying to figure out how you can add and subtract variable expressions to simplify them. I think you have enough information to be able to answer that question well at this point. Take a couple minutes after you finish this video to try to write a summary. When you write that summary, try to keep it inside of this box, just 2 or 3 sentences at the most, to try to summarize for yourself how you would go about this process so that when you try it on Khan Academy, you'll have some success.